Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, one and all, boys and girls. And I've fucked up my usual introduction speech, but that's fine. It doesn't matter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's stream. I'm your Leo Skilvin, and today we're going to be closing out Subnautica. We're in the last leg now, and yeah. Oh dear. Well, we might have a moment of, we may have to take a moment here, 1 second, before I can begin. Yeah. Alright. This is a slight problem. I've really got to get, like, my fucking mini hard drive cleared out. Like, it was never meant to hold, like, fucking files the way it does. But it just is forced to. Such is the way of things, I suppose. That ought to do it. Yeah, there we are. Nope. Alright. I hate to ask, how much disk space do you need, Subnautica? No, don't try again. And you have now consumed 50 megabytes trying to load the save game and not given it back after failing to load it. Jesus fuck. Well, that might be a problem. Note to self, uninstall Subnautica after, you know, after this. Because we might have some problems. Oh boy. Alright, now I swear to God you better load this time, and you better give me back all that fucking room. Alright, you loaded this time. Good. Yeah, no, it consumes like 150 megs to load. Jesus. Here you have to update, especially the old save games. It's not a corruption thing. It's legitimately I had like 100 kilobits left on my hard drive, because I have a hard drive that I originally designed just for my OS drive, but the problem is so many fucking programs like to put miscellaneous shit on the OS drive. That's all. Like it's only a 64 gig hard drive. It was never really designed for much beyond the OS. It was like the OS and a few core programs. Just that way I could boot up my computer in less than 30 seconds. Like, all my games are stored on their own hard drive. You know, I literally have 2 hard drives actually dedicated to other things. In the terabits size as well. For Subnautica specifically, I remember Mathis complaining about it semi-frequently. Alright, so where we last left off, we were building the Neptune launch platform. 4 lead, 2 titanium ingots, and 2 computer chips. Alright, alley-oop. So, oddly enough, our first order of business is actually retrieval of the Cyclops. Cyclops has been left down in the lava zone, and we do need to retrieve it, so.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Seriously, only 84% charged? Jeez. Alright, well, whatever. Just get this thing repaired up. Make sure to empty it out as well. So, yeah. Oh yeah, I don't have the battery charger here, that's right. Currently everything and anything I need is, you know, on board the Cyclops, because I turned that into my main base. That's why I have to go retrieve it. Of course. How could I forget? Alright. Well. Let's go, I suppose. And apparently I'm told warpers will no longer fuck with me. Well, it may or may not be true. Alright, 300 meters. Continuing descent. Alright. Unfortunately, since we are in the suit, this is going to be a pretty crummy trip. And it's going to be one way. We have to retrieve the Cyclops. Unfortunately, as per usual, probably going to get lost a fair bit just trying to get there. Is this into the Lost River? No. Gotta get better lights on this thing, I say. Hopefully you can't become reinfected. Warpers on hunt plague life forms, so they really shouldn't actively bother you. They might still accidentally. You know, in theory shouldn't. Yeah, here it is. This is the entrance. Good. In addition, I do need to be on the lookout for lead and titanium. So. What? What? Alright. Hello, titanium. And also, again, the amounts of bioluminescence is a little insane at times. I mean, yeah. But then again, these are rivers of presumably sulfuric acid. It's fine. That, of course, doesn't do anything about Leviathan-class critters. Eh. I mean, Leviathan-class creatures I'm not particularly concerned about. Also, I really probably should have eaten food before leaving. Didn't bring any with me. Well, like I said, the trip is pretty one-way, so Maybe I can't stop for drilling any more titanium after this. Assuming it isn't even too... Assuming I haven't screwed myself already.
Calorie intake recommended.
Alright. Let's just keep moving. Unfortunately, due to the, you know, general state of things, I've got to move fast. Because I'm a moron who never checks his hunger before leaving. Also, hello, Pedro. What? So, following Subnautica today, because I don't think we're going to be getting a full stream out of it. Unless there's any surprises beyond the Neptune rocket. Yeah, I can't really stop to drill that. I've currently got plans for some CK2. Escaping this episode? Yep, that's the plan. All we have to do at this point is build the Neptune rocket. So, barring any unforeseen circumstances, should be alright. Now. So what CK2 campaign do you have in mind? When the world stopped making sense game. Indeed, where we will play as the King of Egypt. And perhaps secretly restore the old ways. Build some pyramids, have some fun, you know. I let you burn down on CK2, I did. That's why I haven't played it for like a month. And even when I'm coming back to it, I'm coming back to it with a mod that changes the game significantly. I like this idea. I figure it should be a fun campaign.
Seek fluid intake.
Alright. You're fine playing a comedic character? Yes. Yes. That is indeed the plan. Alright. I mean, I can solve the water problem here at least.
Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek
Yeah, no.
Welcome aboard immediately. Vital signs stabilizing.
I have a thermal blade which should auto cook any small fish I could come across. Although I don't know how possible it is to catch one of these.
Vital signs stabilizing.
That'll do. I bought myself enough time that I should hopefully be able to navigate the lava river. It's only about 600 meters to go, so. So it's not the default despot of Egypt seems for Dutch one early in the game. Yes and no. The fact is, all of the the Duchy of Egyptus's vassals have no heirs at the start, as he does not. That's generally standard when the world stopped making sense. That just a lot of characters will not have children and stuff, like their families just aren't fleshed out. The Duke of Aswan might be older than the others, but there should be at least a chance of any of them inheriting, or being inherited rather. Will there be more pyramid building and enslavement? You know it. Alright. So. Maybe back to the Cyclops. Let me check real quick. Ooh, come on. Yeah. No leeches on the hull? Good. Alright.
Captain, all systems online.
Give food. Alright. So. A battery charger. Oh, have I got batteries for you? Okay, you're still alright. Laser cutter's charged. Yeah, that's charged. Just unload all the batteries. Start the charging. Alright.
Engine powering up.
Wait, seriously? 53%? The hell happened down here? That's impossible. Oh, I know why. Because, in truth, there was 8,000 leeches attached to this thing. And only upon reloading the save did those leeches actually, like, get off of it. This thing's actually just been, you know... This... I think. I can't even tell where I'm going. Jesus Christ. Okay. Alright. Leashes drained then left, yeah. I think the leeches probably hopped off at this when I reload the save, because when you reload the save, there's like a moment where there's no power on everything, like before the power kicks in. And I'd wager the leeches hop off a vehicle if it has no power in it. That's my guess. Alright.
explode.
Good. Alright, we'll leave that here for now. So, fabricator. Yeah, we're gonna need some more titanium ingots. Alright. Well, luckily I happen to mine a bunch of titanium. Tempting. Anyway. 54. Alright. Turn off the floodlights. Like, even with these batteries charging and everything, it's still managing to pull in additional power. Which is pretty good. Like, the Cyclops isn't just maintaining itself with its thermal reactor, which is really cool. It's actually able to maintain, like, other secondary systems and such. East exit through the Lost River. We'll head back up to the Lost River. I just have some business to attend to first. Well, I mean, we might be staying down here for at least a little while. Don't know. We'll see what the scanner room comes up with. That's what I figured. There is more to be had here. And more we shall have. I mean, we can spend a more or less indefinite amount of time down here. We have sufficient power generation. We have water. We have food. What? So, while we're here. Okay, I've not... Yeah, the major historical characters generally have full families in when the world stopped making sense. But the vast majority do not. Floating titanium. And anything else here? Nope. Okay. Let's get to this place then. Making custom dynasty like usual. If so, will there be a revival of the Ptolemaic dynasty? I'll destroy in Rome, and I know I need to finish the ship. I don't know what I need to finish the ship, but I've made some educated guesses. I can't say for certain, but based off of what I've managed to figure out thus far, is I have to build the ship in some kind of sequence. Because there's no way that the ship only requires 2 plus steel ingot, or not 2, sorry, not even 2 plus steel ingots. That'd make it more reasonable. 2 titanium ingots, a computer chip, and something else. Like, that seems absurd to me. So I've assumed that there has to be more. So I'm gonna stick around and probably gather up, I'm gonna say 8 ingots. 8 ingots seems reasonable to me. It's probably too much, but I'm just gonna be on the safe side. Because, like, right now, all I can build, apparently, is a launch platform. And I assume by completing... It's a 5-step project, if I remember. Yeah, I had to figure it would be something like that. Because, like, there's no way that launch platform's the only thing I have to build. It's way too cheap. Lots of stuff needed. I figured as much, yeah. Like, I don't know exactly what's needed, but I can take some guesses, you know? The ship is absurdly cheap in reality for a ship, though, but it's somewhat expensive for the game. Well, I mean, everything is absurdly cheap in this game. Oh, no, there is actually more titanium in there. There we go. Like, I don't know what you're expecting. Can I even get at this titanium? Apparently I can. There we go. And there's God knows how much titanium above, so... I mean, more or less we're only just waiting down here for the Cyclops to recharge. Which might unfortunately take a little while, so... Such as it is. How much room do we got? Not really enough for more, huh? We can just fuck right off. Plus, I need to probably stay close and regularly clear leeches off of it. Alright.
All systems online.
Only a leech so far. Good stuff. 52%. The Cyclops seems to be having trouble maintaining energy. I'm not sure if it's, you know, something I'm doing or what. But...
Engine power.
fully shut down the engine. The battery chargers. Okay. Yeah. Hello, Winterwolf. Alright, well, either way. Turn off the lighting might help. I don't... It might, yeah, but I really don't feel like the internal lighting should drain that much power, you know? Just my thoughts on it. It's like, out of everything draining power, I just have trouble believing it's the internal lights that are, you know, taking that much. But alright. There are two different Coptic Egyptian cultures. One uses the Greek name, let's say there's a more traditional name. Used by in game, left over from mods, been integrated but not trimmed out yet. Yeah, the ancient religions mod, I know. I mean, honestly, we'll probably stay Greek for a while, then I think we'll probably end up grabbing African Romance, honestly, as our culture. Because when the world stopped making sense, fetishizes Roman culture. So there's basically like an elite culture list that if you're on, your shit gets additional buildings. Which is literally bullshit. Like, these cultures are legitimately just better. So you basically want to be in either the Byzantine or Roman culture groups, and if you're not, well, you're fucked. You're just fucked. No soup for you. A leech on the fucking front. Alright. True, especially once they add in the melting pots, yeah. Yeah, if we can stay away. Alright. gonna try and move the Cyclops a bit. Can get a lot closer to this part. Like, where my thermal plants are is the more or less edge of, like, you know, 50 degrees, so I hope if I'm a little more over here, there'll be some less leeches to deal with. Hopefully.
Engine powering down.
And just immediately another one's attached to the hull. Yeah, no, it's... Ugh. Okay, look, there's not a chance. I'm better off parking this thing up in Yggdrasil's region.
Engine powering up.
There's like geological areas up there that I can, or not geological, geothermal venting areas I can park it up there. And it will help solve some problems. Alright. Now, like I said, I'm pretty certain there's some volcanic vents somewhere nearby. In this area. Gotta keep on the lookout for those. Find a nice parking spot where this thing can recharge for a while, eh? Uh-huh. Right above this ought to do it. There we go. Whoop. Try not to impact too hard. And only a mere 4 fucking leeches. Jesus Christ. Okay. Get off. Get out of here. Alright. Here the Cyclops should be a little better off.
Powering down.
Alright. Good. No, we're gaining power. Alright. So, Cyclops should be alright here. Unfortunately, we still may have some residual leeching. Just because we dragged 4 leeches up here. Yeah, they'll mostly try and flee, but that's a mostly. Alright. Thermal knife looks badass when not in water. Yeah, just a little, huh? Anyway, this is a handy dandy flashlight, so... There. Now this thing should be able to charge without too much issue. Yeah, it's actually charging really quickly by comparison now. It's great when we don't have to worry about the fucking leeches, huh? Alright. So, that said, I'm gonna be right back, folks. Okay. Damn you, reality, why won't you fast forward? I know, right? Alright, so Wallace is charging. We have more titanium to mine. Alright. What are the special buildings that Byzantines and Romans cultures get? Aqueducts, cisterns, amphitheaters, yeah, basically things like that. Including one of them, I think, is just like -10 local unrest, so your provinces will just never revolt. Which I think is the amphitheater, I don't know. Oh, that's not a reality hole. Okay. There's just a little stripe on my arm there. And I'm staring at that going, oh, well, looks like it's a slight reality hole. Oh, no, wait, no, that's fine. That's part of the game. Wow, that's kind of bullshit. I know, right? But, yeah. So, okay, none of that shit makes sense since most of those were not uniquely Roman. Yeah, I know. As I said, when the world stopped making sense, mildly fetishizes the Romans. And makes them legitimately the best culture by a fucking country mile. Which, of course, is silly. But, you know. Romanticized would be the term. In a less extreme sense, yes. In a less extreme sense, you are totally right. But I am using the term correctly because I believe what they have goes beyond simple romanticization and into the Romans are the best, woo! Like, straight up, you know, to a point where, in the modern term, we would look at it and call Nazism in favor of the Roman culture. Mod like you did with both Vicky Cold War mods? I could. Oh, storage has no room for this item. Actually, that's not a problem. Because I can just open the storage and transfer. You get another few random ones scattered about, but they're local, not cultural. You can rebuild Hadrian's Wall, Stonehenge is there, and the other wall north of Hadrian's. Yeah, this is true. There are a few other like local buildings, like the cathedral in Aachen, and those of the Kemetic religion can build pyramids. And shit, inventory full. And also, get the fuck off. That's what I thought. Well, here we go.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
No leeches. Power at 65. We're getting there. It'll take a little while, unfortunately. Alright. Play that mod, kill all the Romans Byzantine culture, and exterminate the culture the same way by killing OP cultures. Yeah, no. Because, like, they as a group will just never fall. Like, you ever wonder why the Byzantine Empire is so OP in that mod and you will never see it decline? Give you a couple of guesses. I think, honestly, I should just remove the OP buildings in general, but... you know. Six, 7, 8. Damn. 6, 7. I've got enough titanium. Alright. I'm feeling okay with the amount of titanium I've got. Now, in that case, I'd also like to get some lithium going. Because I'm not sure if I'll need plasteel ingots, but... I feel like it wouldn't be too bad to have, you know? And I believe this area has stuff here, but I thought it had lithium in the waters. I may have been wrong. And there's some gold. Oh, there's some lithium. Yeah. So grab some lithium so we'll be able to make these into plasteel if needed. The law needs to be fixed. Rome was doomed to slow decline after economic reforms of Constantine and his predecessor, who gave the empire an earlier form of serfdom and led to weakening the economy. I mean, that wasn't even Constantine who led to the early form of serfdom. Constantine's reforms are just a continuation of Diocletian's. And Diocletian's reforms, as much as they were terrible, most people agree were kind of necessary. Like, to blame it on Constantine is disingenuous. He was just a continuation of an already failing problem that was doomed to kill the Roman Empire in the first place. He shares no more blame than most of his predecessors. Or successors, rather. Lithium mining at 3,000 meters. Yeah, I gotta love the suit. 3,000 feet, yeah. It's not supposed to be this universe way of how the Empire worked. Yeah. I mean, you have to remember something. There is conceptually the idea of decadence. A few rubies probably wouldn't be terrible to grab while I'm down here. And what is decadence? Well, decadence is the use of inertia as a country to sort of move yourself. So, the fact of the matter ended up becoming that the Romans, as a country, used the fact that they were the biggest, baddest kids on the block for too long to get things done. The damage was already done, proverbially. Meanwhile, the Byzantines, who regularly had to compete with the Sassanids and then later the Caliphates, managed to actually not end up being super decadent for a while. They managed to, like, push it back because they weren't the biggest, baddest kids on the block. They could and were regularly, you know, challenged. which of course can change the dynamic completely. You can't rely on inertia if you're not the biggest, baddest kid on the block. Did weaken one of the pillars of the economy, the church, but you are right, it was not fully his fault. Both did it. But both did up weakening trade. Trade was non-existent at that point after Diocletian, well, after the crisis of the 3rd century got through with it. Alright, so I've got enough titanium ingots. That's probably good enough for those. What do I got in storage? Like, the Roman Empire falling was a cavalcade of failures. Oh, I already have steel ingot. Handy that. I didn't even consider what I already had. Well, I mean, at the very least, I need a computer chip, right? Huh. How come's charging? We're at 71. It's not too bad. There's a fucking leech again? I just brought all these leeches with me and they've just not gone away. Oh, whoops. Yeah, that was the 3rd time that leech has attached itself because it actually died in one hit. Didn't it? Jeez. Alright. So, in that case, something we're going to need. Rather quite simply, it seems. We're gonna go let that charge for a while. I'm gonna scoot as soon as it destroys its only competition, Carthage, and not bother going instead of China's new rival. I mean, not really, but I mean, one could argue yes, but it can be held off an indefinite amount of time. Started contracting a long time before. Some of the most impressive works were built by some of their earliest emperors, but generally when they started building these walls all over the place was the beginning of the end. I mean, it's true. You know, the Great Wall of China wasn't just built all at once, it was actually built during several periods, all of which were unsurprisingly near the end of a dynasty's ruling time. The Romans built a bunch of walls at the end of their ruling time, which, unfortunately for Trump, that does not bode well for America if patterns tend to hold the way they do. You know? As it turns out, when you start building walls, your empire is declining. It's not necessarily because you build walls, but, you know, cause and effect.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright. So, rather than titanium, I'm gonna need to look into some copper. Mark me copper. Well, Trump is kind of doomed. I don't think he has long. I mean, he's got at least until the 2018 mid-elections. If the Democrats get enough power, they might be able to try and impeach him, but will fail miserably because you can't actually impeach the president. Because he just resigns as vice president and then pardons him. And the cycle continues until there's somebody they can't impeach. Because there's no way anyone's ever going to allow a president to be impeached. That would be the death of a party. That would be the humiliation for elections to come. And in a two-party system, that would literally create a Democratic Party dictatorship. Which, for as much as people hate the Republicans, it's better than, you know, a one-party state. One must remember the complicated system that is politics. And its unfortunateness that comes with it. American, he is on the road to impeachment, and Clinton was impeached. No, Clinton wasn't impeached. It's effectively one party right now. It's effectively one party rotating right now. And regularly, occasionally, two parties. The American political machine is a complicated beast. Two false choices. That's a cynical way to view it. Yes. So with the copper we've got present now, I'm thinking we should have enough. So yeah, let's grab the last of this. Impeachment does not mean remove from power, sadly. This is true. I guess there's a slight difference there. Most people don't actually like either party and just vote for the one they hate less. You're right. You are absolutely correct. Which is ill tidings, to say the least. Hang on, I needed lead, didn't I? Quick. I need this anyway. Perfect. Because in a democracy, if you're not voting for people who represent you, you're just voting for people who you don't hate. That's not a good sign that you have a functioning democracy. Term is almost 8 years total. Impeachment is technically only charging the president with a crime. Sometimes we should vote no confidence, and therefore should proportional allocation rather first past the post. I mean, a lot of people wish that across many countries. The latter, rather. And maybe we'd be freed from the two-party state. I mean, I disagree on necessarily just getting rid of the Electoral College. The Electoral College gets a lot of flack when it's actually not the cause of most of the problems. It's best to remember that the allocation for things like Electoral College seats and all that is attributed and bound to the 1910 census and has never been updated since. If the Electoral College was still intact, but that data was updated, then no one would have a single problem with the Electoral College, I guarantee it. It would just be a whatever little bureaucratic nonsense that, you know, it existed since time immemorial. But the Electoral College gets an unfair amount of flack when it basically does nothing and does not matter. Maybe instead America shouldn't be, you know, deciding who wins the presidency based on where people lived in 1910. Maybe that's a more pressing issue, perhaps. It's just my 2 cents on the matter. The Electoral has absolutely nothing to do with the two-party system. The state chooses the allocation system, no central system for allocation. That as well, yes. That is another thing. As it turns out, like I said, the political machine that is the Americas is a complicated thing. Never forget that. Never forget that. Alright. Alright, how are we doing? No leeches, good. Pork some water. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna fit fucking lantern fruits in my inventory at this point. Not a chance. How are we doing on power? Only 74? Alright. Well, we're getting better at least. Battery charger fabricator. Hydrochloric acid. Nice, but I need some copper wire. So computer chip is now just gold and 2 table coral. Sure thing. Alright. So, computer chip. Good. I mean, I'm gonna say 75% power is pretty good. Maybe. Can probably work off this. Alright.
Engine powering up.
Because as much as states complain they have an astonishing degree of autonomy comparable to institutions in their countries, though I confess I have little idea what the Canadian provincial system works. The Canadian provincial system, and the best way I can actually put this in difference to the U.S. system, is summarized in one statement. In the Canadian system, should anything come up that's not currently covered as through governance, it hasn't already been granted to the provincial or municipal level, by default falls to the federal government. Anything that should crop up that's not covered by the division of powers in the U.S., however, by default falls to the state governments. It might seem, you know, as a minor detail, but then you realize the concept of, you know, telecommunications networks and all sorts of other things that have just completely cropped up. Who sets the laws on that? Like, right now we talk about how the FCC repeals its net neutrality restrictions, and then on top of that, states are like, lol, we're just going to pass our own. Because you can do that, because it's actually technically something that's governed by the power of the states. The federal government can, you know, overrule that and seize its power, but it has to do so. The federal government in the U.S. has to pass a law that says the states aren't allowed to do it, and then it probably has to survive a constitutional challenge. Because there's various rules regarding when the federal government can do so. Meanwhile, in Canada and presumably at least most of the British Commonwealth, it's hard for me to say about other European countries and other potential, you know, things, because I'm not personally certain on all the systems across all the countries. You know, the newfound everythings simply default to the federal level. So no state can enforce neutrality, so states are using loophole in the government through government contracts. Yeah, it's kind of a mess, right? I mean, one of the things I've always liked to tell about the U.S. government in particular is how they managed to make the drinking age almost universally 21. Oh dear. Whoop. The U.S. managed to make the drinking age universally almost 21 by withholding road funding from the states. The federal government couldn't enforce a 21 drinking age, so they passed a bill that said if the state drinking age is not 21 minimum, then they don't get this federal funding. Now, be your opinion on what the drinking age and all that should be. That's still probably one of the more entertaining ways to actually pass that. And, you know, get that to work. And everybody on this side wants constitutional amendments because they're all afraid what the other side will push through. Exactly. I mean, to be fair, I don't think any side will be able to push through anything. No one could compromise for 5 seconds to actually get through something they want. Alright, now comes the hardest part. Ascending. Because you know what? I'm fucking blind down here. I'm just going to be basically going up on a wing and a prayer here. So he actually has that problem and loses partial funding because of it. Yeah. Those parents the right to allow their children to drink, yeah. As denoted, it is a strange way of doing things, to be sure. Alright. They're like miniature countries being told what you can act on this. So the whole thing gets changed. Yeah. Because, yeah. I mean, the fact that the US exists as a country is insane in and of itself. I mean, the amount of shit that had to get passed, like, just to form the very first government is absurd. Like, the United States as a country legitimately never should have existed in the first place. I mean, people make jokes about various things, but, like, the bicameral system that you've all grown to know and love was mostly invented because the different states wanted to be represented differently. You know, the populous states wanted it to be represented one way, you know, proportionally, whereas the, you know, non-populous states wanted it to be one state, one vote kind of thing. Among many other things. Like, let's not even get started on the 3/5 compromise. Oh boy. There's a mess of problems. But that's why I say, and it seems weird for me to say it, and it seems almost like I'm being an asshole when I say it, but no, seriously, the US as a country shouldn't have existed in the first place. The amount of compromises it had to make and weirdness in its government it had to make to even exist is absurd. Either divine or demonic intervention or a complete fluke for the atheists. Yeah, no. To quote Chairman Shen Jiang, Einstein would be rolling in his grave. Not only does God play dice, the dice are loaded. Alright. So, I need 4 lead right now, and then we can get the launch platform. Alright. I forgot what the hell else I needed. It's an entertaining thought, to say the least. Alright. One lead, 2 lead. A lot of copper in there. 3 lead. 4 lead. What? Pledge allegiance, we are one country under God, and the Pope is nothing on us. The 50s. Fun times. '50s. The first time since the 1400s where the world became more religious. Oh dear. Oop. Okay, good. It was just lagging. Jesus fuck. Massive. And the Pope has nothing anymore on anyone, yeah. At least we're no longer Nazi saluting the flag. I mean, there's that. I don't really see the problem with the Nazi salute per se. But then again, I try and avoid associating things with the Nazis. Because then otherwise, you know, it says a terminal here. Someone wants to wear a Hitler mustache, they're totally allowed to wear a Hitler mustache. I prefer not to call it a Hitler mustache. So, next up, apparently I need a lubricant, a steel ingot, and a copper wire. Because, you know, otherwise we run into the problem of complaining about the Buddhist symbolism. You know, how insensitive are Buddhists to use a swastika, right, guys? Alright.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
So, let's see. I need copper wire, so 2 of those, please. What else do I need? Oh, yeah, I need a plasteel ingot. Perfect. I already have one. And then I need a lubricant. I'll have to go to the other base fork. No, we would not go to war for God. Jesus teaches not to. I don't know, man. The U.S. at this point, I think most population is desensitized enough to war. You could probably get away with it without too much backlash. There's to be backlash, of course, but you know. Unfortunately, everyone at this point's forgotten the phrase "beware of babies and incubators." So, it's not worth reclaiming the Holy Land to get Jesus' teachings. Sikhs and Muslims who win religious freedom debates. I mean, that's impossible to answer. You know that. Okay, far side of this. Okay. Alright. Oh fuck, I forgot the copper wire. Fuck, I got 2 copper ore and didn't make it into copper wire. Whoops. One moment. No more water? U.S. military junta. Yeah. I'm not really sure what the U.S. is these days. A lot of names people will give it. How many of them are particularly accurate? That's, well, you know, that's up for debate. Alright. I'm surprised there's not been a push yet to make Queen a Commonwealth head of state again just to rejoin the Commonwealth. Pfft. Not gonna happen. Oligarchy? Not necessarily. It's hard to say for certain. Like, I'm not sure if it's necessarily an oligarchy, because that would imply that, you know, because I think the problem is it's a factionalized thing, where various factions generally exert more influence than they should in various areas. Like, for example, the CIA and, you know, Department of Homeland Security and such exert incredible amounts of influence that they shouldn't be able to on many things. Oligarchs also do so. It's a something. It's a unique mixture of things that doesn't have a name yet. At best, I would call it a Byzantine Republic. Alright, so, gantry, check. Alright, so what do I need for the boosters? Alright, I'll need a plasteel ingot, 3 nickel ores, 2 aerogels, and a wiring kit. Well, that's not too hard. I was expecting this to be actually way more expensive than it was. Whoa. Alright. So plasteel ingot, yeah, I've got lithium, and I have, like, what, 8 titanium ingots just laying around? Yeah. We are a democratic oligarchy under a corporate military collaboration that controls our government. Right? And even then, I think that you're still missing on things, which is telling, so. Well, at least the nickel will get used for something. Alright, let's grab some lithium. Two. Make an ingot into plasteel. Good. Shit, am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. It was plasteel ingot, 3 nickel, oh yeah, 2 aerogel. Aerogel, right. That I have to go to the Cyclops for. So lithium is a kind of plastic? Good question. Doesn't make any sense to me. I believe it's meant to be that it's made a lot lighter. And thus plastic-esque. No, it's in here somewhere. And aerogel, I mean that's enough. Also, how goes charging this thing? Ooh, 84%. Should probably shut off the engines.
Engine powering down.
And turn on the bloody internal lighting. Alright. So I'll just need to go grab a thing. Pure titanium is practically useless IRL. Yeah. It has some undesirable properties. But, I mean, I'm surprised somebody hasn't tried to use it. Probably just too expensive for people to try. Because, you know, let's not forget about that time the British tried to make a ship out of aluminum. And then, you know, it caught fire. Titanium is very costly and heavy, yeah. Branches of government, the military, executive, corporate, legislative, and lawyers, guild, of the rich judiciary that set checks and balances. Tinfoil ship, anyone? Maybe. Alright, boosters. Undesirable, by which you mean almost as brittle and ductile as chalk? Maybe. Yes, that might be what I'm getting at. I mean, it's very good at taking compression at the very least, so. Neptune fuel reserves. 2 iron power cells, plasteel ingot, 4 crystalline sulfur, and 4 kyanite. Son of a bitch. Alright. Well, I'll see what I have laying around, but that looks like it's going to be another trip down. That looks like it's going to be another trip down. One word, pycrete. You know, I think global warming, it's actually a conspiracy. A cabal of, you know, of military people who've realized that pycrete is too powerful and they have to constantly warm up the ocean so it can't be used for the future of Arctic warfare. Oh dear, I may have just started a conspiracy theory. Alright. So seriously, do I not have any kyanite? Literally none? Jesus, alright. Hmm. Another wall locker. Alright. You may have been possessed by the Changer of Ways. You used it all? Yeah, I believe it. Alright. Yeah, we're up to 88% charged. Alright. We're getting there. God, the amount of, like, having to go get more kyanite and sulfur. Not ideal. Alright. I need to check again because I've forgotten. What do I need? I need 4 kyanite and 3 sulfur? I have to freaking burn this into my memory. So do you think the Second American Civil War will happen before or after the Catalonian Spanish Independence War? You know, I'm not entirely certain there will be a Second American Civil War. I see it far more likely that the government's just going to dissolve at some point. I mean, let's be honest here. You know, like, 4 crystalline sulfur, 4 kyanite. Alright. Like, I feel like the government is just going to dissolve at some point, honestly. There's no way that, like, the government's going to remain stable enough for there to even be a civil war. Like, just one of the days, the government is going to shut down, and it's just not going to start back up. Like, who knows? The U.S. government might have already dissolved, for all we know. Because I hate to ask you, imagine for a second that the federal government shuts down until the next election. What are the odds there's even going to be an election? What are the odds that at that point the states aren't just de facto independent? The state's too militarized for another civil war. That too. Alright, let's come down and around here.
Seek fluid intake.
Right, we'll have to get down to the Yggdrasil base then. So the US will become like the EU? Maybe. Or maybe it'll become even less centralized than the EU. He'll Patriot are fighting that. Our Patriot are fighting on their own civil war. In some parts, sure, but in the vast majority, not really. Okay, we're hitting 600 meters. Whoop. A little low. Alright. Now, one of these days I'm going to remember how to get into the lost fucking river here. Yeah, whatever. It's not a Leviathan. It can't hurt me. think, I'm just kind of going off memory, the Lost River should be here on my right. I think, and based off of, yeah, that pool there, I think I'm right. Yeah, looks alright. Good. Alright. Okay, so step one. We need sulfur. Crystalline sulfur. Alright, let's search the riverbeds then, shall we? See if we can't find any.
Seek fluid intake immediately.
Okay, maybe I need to head to the Yggdrasil base. Come back later. Honestly, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna just start heading towards Yggdrasil. Just due to a water shortage. Assumingly I don't have any on me. Yeah, I didn't think so. Wait, what? Why did I die there? Like, did it just keep doing damage to me? Like, did it just wig out and keep doing damage to me in the suit? Because I was in the suit. I shouldn't have been taking any more damage. You were an acid. I was in the suit. Well, no plus side, I suppose. Let's go grab the Cyclops and bring it on over. Like, it did damage to me after I was in the suit. It remains for a short time. Maybe. Yes, it does some damage over time. Yeah. It must leave, like, something. Because it kept dealing damage even though I was in the suit, which was surprising. And I don't want to leave the Cyclops here too long. And certainly keep the floodlights off because I've known the Leviathan to come out here on occasion. Alright. Well, I mean, either way, I'm going to have to freaking... Where is it? Ah, there it is. Have to go down to it anyway. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was just penetrating the suit. Yeah. No, it's bugged. If you enter the prawn suit under the acid, you have to surface. Huh. Well, there you go. Can I detach this from the ground by chance? No. Well, that's weird, yeah. Huh. And the worst part is that it's going to make retrieving any more crystalline sulfur a lot fucking harder. Because now all of a sudden I don't have enough health. Well, also it's actually going to make this kind of useless then for retrieving the crystalline sulfur, sadly. Sadly, the only thing I think I can do at this point is just die. And repeat. We'll see. There might be some... Apparently it's really hot there, alright. Sometimes you can find, you know, nearby bits. Just like along the edges. So I'm pretty much gonna have to rely on that. There we are, another pick. That's 3 crystalline sulfurs. Oh wait, no, is that 3? No, it's only 2, right? 2 crystalline sulfurs. Alright. Oh shit. I am so fucked. Ooh. Yeah, that's why I've been kind of concerned about leaving, you know, the Cyclops here. The Leviathan does come out here on occasion. It also means that any of the sulfur down there is impossible to gather. It's a rather annoying bug. There's 2 crystalline sulfurs down there. Yeah, no. You can take the drill arm and just use the normal... wait, you can? You... what? Sorry, hold on. If that... hold on. I have been told apparently I can actually just remove this drill arm and I'll be able to pick things up in the prawn? I've actually never had it without the drill arm before. I want to believe you. Let's find out if you are, in fact, telling the truth. Alright. Holy shit, I can. I've legitimately never not used the drill arm before. Oh my god. It's so bizarre. I'm telling y'all it was sabotage. Huh. Well, that made this a hell of a lot easier. Just that delightful moment of, wow, I'm a moron. All right. It really was a simple solution, huh? Okay, so nickel. So I still need the kyanite. That's going to be slightly trickier. Doable, but slightly trickier. In the meantime, I'm gonna get some more wall lockers up here. Because we need it. I have way too much shit. Alright, that'll do. So. 5, 6. Done. Alright, that's taken care of. Alright, let's get going, shall we? So much for CK2 after this. Yeah, no, to be fair, I wasn't originally expecting it to be this long. I was expecting it to be done by now. But, well, what do you know, right? Turns out building the escape ship a lot harder than I thought. I mean, on the plus side, I'm getting a lot better at using the Cyclops and navigating. Like, it's great that I get to actually, like, feel as tangible. I'm getting a lot better at this. You know? Anything notable happened since the start of the stream? Well, there's not much left to build. Well, I don't know what there is left to build, but we'll find out. I feel mildly bad about this. Honk. Honk. Out of the way. Coming through. There you go. Alright. If the compass HUD upgrade for the Cyclops you're talking about early on. I don't know if there is a compass / HUD upgrade for the Cyclops, really. I know there's a sonar upgrade, which I thought would be really helpful. Because apparently apparently, like, you know, maps the area. Like, presumably on this. Like, it just maps the area or something. But I never did get around to building the sonar. I just gotta learn to fly without it, or sail without it, or dive without it, or something without it anyway. No, creature with us on an adventure, yeah. Alright, now, so I know I'm generally pretty adverse to spoilers, but for any of the remaining parts, do I... Of the ship. Do I need anything that's exclusively found down here? Like, do I need to grab extra kyanite while I'm down here? Kind of thing? Or, you know, am I just fine as things are?
Engine powering down.
Alright. The suits upgrade? Yep. Alright. Good. Gonna keep Cyclops out of the lava zone because I'm tired of leeches getting stuck to it and draining all of its power. Between you and school, I'm almost a week behind on YouTube videos. Well, I mean, Twitch these days has ended up becoming the superior platform to YouTube, so... Not really a surprise. And turn off automatically when you leave the sub. You don't have to worry about power or draw noise if you leave them on. Oh, really? I was told to turn them off because they consume power. That's good to know. I'm just acting on what somebody else in the chat told me. Which, unsurprisingly, is conflicting information now. Thank you for the notice, though. Yeah, maybe change. I was reading some stuff yesterday. Oh, yeah. Alright, we've got a long way to go. To the zone, I believe, that is simply known as the Lava Castle. The only place where you can, pretty much the only place where you can find kyanite. Here we are. So. Alright, well, I mean, most of the danger here is just the Leviathan, since the Warpers don't seem to care about me anymore. Which is good. That means, for the most part, as long as I evade, you know, detection by the Leviathan, which you can hear, swimming around... Oh, somewhere there he is. In like the deepest recesses. Okay, good. We got some kyanite crystals over here. Let's get mining. One of the people I watch only is YouTube and TeamSpeak, and I don't have to watch 24/7. The love of VODs. Took out a Reaper Leviathan with a prawn, just stock claws, no upgrades. Oh fuck, really? Fucking Richard Hammer did that? Jeez. I mean, I like I said, I theorize that's totally possible to do, but it probably took like an hour. Unless, you know, I mean, it's totally possible that the health pool of the thing is a lot smaller than I think it is, but for a creature that size, I'm expecting a pretty high health pool. Last night he's doing hardcore blind. I see. Super quick by those claws do damage. Really? Hello? So we've got the 4 kyanite now. I'm going to get more. I'm going to want probably another 4 pieces while I'm here. At minimum. Thank God for auto drill. Ugh. I think this will be all the materials you need from down here. That's good. I'm going to grab the extra kyanite anyway, because I'd like to build the depth upgrade Mark III for the Cyclops. Because I've been considering what I'm going to put in the time capsule, which has 6 open slots, I believe. So I've thought, set of depth upgrades, Mark III for all 3 of the vehicles. Wait, did I seriously only just get one from that? I mean, I wasn't paying total attention. Jesus fuck. Yeah, no, you don't get much kyanite at all from the fucking outcrops. It's insane. So I'd like to get a Cyclops Mark III depth upgrade, as well as a set of thermal reactors for the things. Basically hoping to give some guy a really nice pod, you know? Or voted from the community side if you didn't already know. What do you mean voted on? Yeah. That's actually a valid question. What do you mean by voted on? In my way. Alright, we got 2 kyanite. 4 kyanite. Neat. Just put kyanite in the time capsule. Six, 9. Yeah, no, that's enough. Let's get the hell out of here, shall we? So, which time capsules will make into the game? I'll see if I can find what I'm talking about. Yeah, that would help. Whee! So many power leeches. Alright, back in the lava river. I mean, if that's the case, like I said, Gale swinging like Spider-Man below 1,000 feet is never not fun to me. Pretty much. And this bronze suit's pretty great. Between jump jets and a grappling hook. I can use the grappling hook to get momentum. Whee. And tight. Like, I just managed to clear, what, 300 meters in the air? Getting better. Only appearing games people who've already beaten the game. Appearing games of people who've already beaten the game. That's a blatant lie. That is a blatant lie. Mikhail got them and hadn't beaten it yet? Exactly. That is the most blatant of lies. I haven't beaten this game before. Yet I still get time capsules. He beat the game in his heart. Aww. How cheesy and corny. Alright.
All systems online.
Seriously, 2 fucking power leeches.
Engine powering up.
Fucking. It'll be easier to cut them off before we go anywhere. Maybe having an early access version has something to do with it. Maybe. one's up here. That is what the wiki says. Shrug. Maybe it's my old save. Hypothetically speaking, the the end of the game previously, before they put in the storyline, was fixing the Aurora's dark matter drive core. That was the end. And you actually got, when you did it, you got a nice little message. We're so deep under the sea, don't you see what I mean? Which is also what the stream title references. Okay, good. No leeches. So, like that, I use the term hesitantly beat because I'm, you know, trying to lead to that conclusion. But that was the end of the content then. When Capsule gets ejected, its contents go to a website for moderation capsules that get enough upvotes to see it in other players' worlds. I see. In that case, I'll probably just give it a set of thermals. Thermal reactors. And a solar generator. To solve your energy problems. Do you just burn yourself with your knife? No. I was just in the lava river area, which is always above 50 degrees, so it's fucking always deadly. Refit the power cells? Regift the power cells? Nah. Well, maybe I'll regift a few of them. I'm thinking a set of 3 thermals and then 3 ion cells. Or the 2 thermal generators. I think that thing actually just tried to attack me. How quaint. So yeah, no set of thermal generators and some power cells. Just be like here. You know, hopefully this can solve your energy crises. And you can make your own now, yeah. I forgot to turn right. It's okay. Only minorly impacted some random bone. Alright. Let's keep going. Hope the Leviathan isn't tailing us. It is mildly tailing us. Looks like it left, though. Remember, kids, always remember to turn right. Alright. Reaper shocking before the end of the game. You owe it to yourself. So you say. I really wish there was like an intensity setting for these floodlights. I need to be able to turn them down a little bit, you know? Alright. Let's begin our ascent, I think. Truth be told, I have no idea what's even going on. I think this is the right way. I can Christ, I hope it is. Alright, looks good. Oh dear. Yeah, no. Need a turn. Go this way. Ah, there's the wreck. Good. Fucking blind, man. Sure there's a lot of light in these caves. Yeah. There's a lot of bioluminescence. And other such. Straighten out. Come on over the top. There we go. Alright. There we go. And so Kelvin rides out of the sea to escape to the stars, and he has more or less completed the spore. I mean, Subnautica. Really, it's the same game when you think about it. Alright, so. What do I need? I need 3 crystalline sulfur. No, I need 4 crystalline sulfur, don't I? I'm pretty certain I have more buried in here somewhere. 4 crystalline sulfur. 4 kyanite. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a steel ingot. Two lithium. One of these bloody storage lockers, right? Or is it over here? That was. Alright. To the fabricator. Wonderful steel ingot. Good. I'm doing a little reading. It seems like the time capsules just get sent through moderation, make sure they're not offensive or whatever. I wouldn't worry about it. I see. Alright. Ah, yes, right. I needed 2 ion power cells. One second, I have to go jack those from the Cyclops. Ugh. Time capsules are random, or they appear where a person dropped them. I think they're random, but I don't know. Truth be told. Wait. I'm also going to need a couple of ion cells to regular power cells to replace. Plant like his ancestors left Earth resources deprived and dying. There you go. Okay. Also. Or. Turn off the floodlights. I'm going to be right back. Cool. Alright. So wait, how did Altera send you schematics for a ship using technology reverse engineered by you from previously unencountered aliens? They didn't. The computer magically managed to figure out how to use the alien technology and incorporated it into it. To make it cheaper or whatever. I remember a voice line about that.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Alright. What was it I needed? Oh no, I have everything I need. I just need water.
Vital signs stabilizing.
There. Alright. The computer is super smart but cannot go fully hell on you. Yeah, apparently. Alright. So, let's get the fuel reserves readied. That's freaking hilarious. You had 5 Kynite in your base the whole time. Shit, did I? Oh well. Still have to go down there for the sulfur anyway. Because I checked my base. I didn't get any Kynite, I'm pretty sure. Hmm. Oh well. So. Neptune cockpit. Cyclops shield generator. Plasteel ingot. Enameled glass. And computer chip. Alright. So, first question, does the Cyclops shield generator cost? I'm going to have to check my Cyclops about that. And with that, you are done. I'm not done yet. Who knows how complicated this shield generator could be. I've got a lot of materials laying around, but who knows? We'll find out, I suppose. Cyclops fabricator, shield generator. Ingredients unknown. No, we're not done yet. No, we're not done yet. Does it seem off? He hasn't unlocked it yet. Yep, no, I have not found the Cyclops shield generator yet. Oh, double frack. Time to go wreck diving, yeah. Whoops. No, I was expecting to need that, alright. Of course, the question is, you know, what wreck do I even need to go to for that? Probably the bulb force, since I've never actually... Isn't there a is there a finite amount of ion cubes? I think there is, yeah. I mean, there's a finite amount of everything in this game. There's not infinite resources, but... I think, I found 2 mineable sets of ion cubes for 16. I think there's probably about 30, I want to say, in the game. At least from what I've encountered so far. It's possible I've missed some. Just based on what I've encountered, I'd say about 30.
Jesus, no. Oh, jeez. Oop. And we're out. Okay. No, one of the buildings is the thing that spawns them, I think. Oh, does it? Alright. Well, that might be possible. I wouldn't know. So. Whoa. Alright. According to this, yeah. According to this, it's in a Degassi sea base in the Deep Grand Reef. Which I haven't been to. So. That's what I figured. There's a place called the Deep Grand Reef I haven't been to yet. So we'll have to go there. Beautiful place. Rather delightful. I think it should be this way anyway. There's more kelp forest there. The Deep Grand Reef. I mean, I'd have to look at the coordinates, honestly. Is I'm actually coming up on the correct one. So actually a little more over here, maybe. And then apparently just... No, actually, yeah, no, I'm quite on track. Alright. But this isn't the Deep Grand Reef at all, is it? Maybe if I just go down farther. It sure as hell looks like a blood kelp forest to me. But hey, what do I know, right? You know, this looks a lot like a blood kelp forest, not the Deep Grand Reef. At least as I know it. So wait, it would be literally this way in like, what, 300 meters? I don't know. I think the position of this might be wrong. Because this is blood kelp forest, and I'm pretty certain not where I want to be. Not sure what to make of this, honestly. Maybe the other locations put forward will be easier, maybe. I mean, assumingly somewhere, there's got to be the Deep Grand Reef, right?
Disciple.
This is beginning to look a little like Crater Edge, though, to me. Yeah, that's Crater Edge. So sadly not where I want to go. There is a place. Where there's like blue bulb trees. And all that. There's a huge tunnel that goes under the map. Isn't it? Maybe. I couldn't tell you. Oh, this looks like a biome divider here. I have to crawl my way to the top and over this. Or, you know, try and go around. I'd rather not, though. Because going around means going out of the crater and into Leviathan territory. What is this? There's the mountain island? In that case, I've gone way out the wrong way. This must be the mountain island, or the southern tip of it anyway. Jeez. Alright, so it's also apparently found in the mountains, Rex, so I mean, well, we'll have to do that then. Alright. Fucking got this thing stranded. Wait, this thing can't move the sea moth? Oh, I need the upgrade for it, don't I? So it can do the thing the gravity gun does where it just presses on things. Son of a bitch. Great. Well, I've lost the sea moth, so that's a problem. Unfortunately, any searching I want to do is going to be completely useless until daytime anyway. So, I'm basically fucked. So, I'm going to have to wait it out. Sadly. Alright. Well. Yeah, no, Rex, no. So the dunes wreck, I doubt it. Okay, Cyclops shield generator. I see. We're Reef in the south. That's where I headed. Apparently, I drifted way off course, though. So, this is a fucking nuisance, ain't it? Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to abandon the sea moth now. I'm still waiting for fucking daylight, please. Whatever. Just have to go. So where the hell am I going? Well, according to my goal is to find anyway, that's the direction I want to head in for a while. I'm just going to try and line up the coordinates here. It's basically about 1.5 kilometers due south of me. There we go. Hope that someday daylight might help. Let's keep going. Alright. Hello, EMP thing. You gonna be a nuisance today? Sounds like it. Alright. Okay. Still have like another click to go. It turns out this is actually really far away. Sadly, there are only 2 places to get this damn thing, according to the wiki. The Degassi Sea Base and a dunes wreck out here that I apparently need to go to. So, God help me. Used to have some daylight now. Okay. 300 meters and 200 meters left. Almost there. Heading to minus 1448 and plus 732, so. Alright. So 1448 and 732. So basically should be about 300 meters straight down. Meters, no sea moth. This is gonna be trickier. Trickier than I'd like, but at least it's possible. Oh yes, I vaguely remember this wreck. This is where I came to get the Cyclops engine fragment, I think. Maybe. At any rate, I do need to find a data box. Likely behind a sealed door, perhaps. If I happen to be so lucky. There we are.
New blueprint acquired.
You know what? I got enough curiosity in me. What's the other side of this door? Maybe an exit. Some water. How useful. No way out here. Does not appear to be a way out there. Alright. Good enough. Let's get the hell out of here then, shall we? So, goal is 1 kilometer away at Alpha Base now. Let's reach surface. Alright. So hopefully now I can complete the bloody game. Hopefully. Go, go, go. So no CK2 today, but my looks unfortunate. Yeah. This is Mountain Wreck, and yeah, no, I checked the Sea Trader and Mountains Wreck path on the wiki, and although it says you can find them there, I checked the manifest on those wrecks themselves, and they don't have it listed there. So I'm not sure. But I have 2 disagreeing wiki pages that tell me different info, so it's hard for me to tell exactly, unfortunately. So I went with the 2 that agreed. At least you have an answer, it doesn't matter if you die, yeah, basically. Alright. Need for the wiki to be perfectly accurate. Yeah, unfortunately. Alright.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
So, I need to make a Cyclops shield generator, apparently. And now I actually, you know, have the bloody damn things to do it. Okay, I need polyaniline, a power cell, and an advanced wiring kit. Well, that's not too bad, then. I've had worse. So, well. Let me go refresh my memory here. So I need polyaniline, which is gold and hydrochloric acid. Okay, we can do that. Because hydrochloric acid is just deep shrooms and salt. Okay, so polyaniline, easy peasy. Advanced wiring kit is a wiring kit, 2 gold, and a computer chip. So 3 gold, 2 copper. Yeah, alright. Got the copper. Alright. That should do it. So that's the advanced wiring kit. Okay. And I have some deep shrooms here, so 1, 2, 3. And I may have some salt laying around. Oh, there's some salt. There we go. Oh, yeah, wait, I'll need another thing of gold, won't I? Okay. A little bit of hydrochloric acid. And polyaniline. Alright. And a power cell. Done. Barely any power in this thing at this point.
Alright, so... So I plan to put these 3 in. Yeah. This needs to actually charge up a bit, so I'll leave it. Alright. So, what else do I need? Look, I got so focused on making that Cyclops, you know, shield generator, I forgot everything else. So, let's go back up and check. Well, first off, only some submarines go faster on the surface, and most of those are diesel submarines. Because they can only run their diesel engines on the surface, they have to use electric motors below. Alright, so I'll still need computer chip, plus steel ingot, and enameled glass. Alright. I'm trying to think, do I... Enameled glass, I might have to go hunting for a stalker tooth. I might actually have to go get a stalker tooth. 50 to 100,000 years. I could safely bet a lot longer than 100,000 years. Or a lot longer than 50.
Welcome aboard.
I mean, at minimum, if it's made of titanium, we're talking, you know. Yeah, there's just a pile of kyanite there. Is there anything I can salvage to get enameled glass? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, no, this was just regular glass. That's what I thought. Is there anything I've built that's salvageable that used enamel glass? I don't think so. So it's definitely going to require me to head back to the kelp forest, huh? Alright. Well, let's go. Can you salvage the Cyclops? No. Afraid not. Cyclops cannot be salvaged. Where am I even going? I should be heading in this direction. Also, hello, Sandy. Meow. What's up, Cranky? Kitty's a little cranky right now. Wrecks in the Black Sea can last a lot longer because certain microorganisms can't survive there. Yeah. Ironically enough, heavier salt water, surprisingly enough, does a pretty solid job of preserving most things. Because it turns out it kills off most of the bacteria. Alright. So. Stalker, near, metal salvage, look around, look for... Stray teeth, anywhere? Stray teeth. Whoop. Right. They actually bite, don't they? Right. I've just stopped fearing the stalker after so long.
Do 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 do. Alright, well. So far, my luck is not so great. If I hang out around here, see if I can lure any stalkers into attacking. Hey, stalker bro. No? Okay.
30 seconds.
Alright, I have oxygen limitations. On the other hand, metal wrecks in very salty waters is all faster than normal because of the salt damage. This is true. Salt is a preserver for certain things, mostly organics. Salt preserves organic very good. So things like wood actually get preserved very well with salt. However, metallics are far more vulnerable to the erosion of salt. So, come on, stalker bro. You know you want this metal? No? Alright. Well, I tried. Well, I tried. Look for any other, like, metal salvage I can come across here. Aha, stalker tooth. The final piece of the puzzle. Great, my cat started to meow back at your cat. Oh. Yeah, well, Sandy's all cranky. They toned down the spawn rate of teeth after a few people complained about lag because there were too many teeth. Yeah. Stalker teeth before used to not be a problem at all. Just kill the dang thing like the badass from the Degassi. Too much work. I have to bring the prawn suit out here for it, really. Because I'm not super interested in knife fighting a stalker. Well, in all honesty. Alright. So. Got glass for enameling. Got that. I need a plasteel ingot still, I think. And I don't know what else. Alright, I'm going to double check what I need. Because, once again, I've managed to forget. Oop. Did I come out on the wrong side? Guess I did. Can't see shit. This planet's so bloody dark at night. Also because I need to sit up more, so that way the angle on my screen doesn't screw me. Because I'm usually like down here. But man, holy shit, like just the difference in brightness for me, just doing that. Alright, a computer chip. Alright, well that's easy. Okay. So I just need enameled glass, a steel ingot, and a computer chip.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All
So.
systems online.
I'll need 2 table coral, 1 gold. Also, I'll need 2 copper. Okay. Good. And I'll need to put these back in. So, hello. How are you today, Blackie? Yeah, he's a happy kitty. Yeah, aren't ya? Aren't ya? Aw. Aw. Okay. So, that's the computer chip. I still think I'm gonna need some glass. Which, I mean, I'll admit, I actually don't think I have any quartz laying around. Quartz is so bloody common, I've never cared much for it. Luckily for me, I have a, you know, alien containment thing I've never bothered to use because I just got the plans for this so late. Like, I just got the plans for the alien containment so late in the game that it was just useless to me. So, as much of a shame as it is. One who's been angry the last few streams? Yeah, she's been having fits lately. She is super mad lately. Alright. So enamel glass, computer chip, cyclops, shield generator. And, oh yes, a plasteel ingot. That is the final piece of this puzzle. Need one piece of lithium. Done. All right. And now just to grab the last few things. Bronze suit thermal reactor. There we go. Solar charger. Thermal reactors, 3 ion cells. So that's my plan for the launch. I assume I'll probably have to do something to fuel it up and everything as well first, but you change your food there. I don't know why I put your. I read that cats think you're talking to them so they don't see anybody else around, so that's why they always bother you when you're on the phone, etc. Hmm. I mean, that's highly untrue. At least in my cat's cases. You guys are just bothering me because I didn't feed you when I woke up. And you're hungry. I know the score. There's empty food bowls. You're not happy about it. You know, you're going to be using 2 of those ion cells, right, for the ship? No, I already used 2 ion cells for the ship. Still no ADS for the Seamoth. ADS? I don't know what you mean.
One rocket online.
Oh no, the elevator's already here. The cat's giving you a death stare. Mm-hmm. Storage. Oh god. What was I supposed to bring?
Pressurizing hydraulics. Auxiliary power unit online.
My character's saying, thank God for nanotechnology. Yeah.
Communications systems array active.
Okay. Neat.
Life support systems online.
Now, I'm no expert, but I can't help but notice this is marked LF_SP, which is pretty obvious shorthand for life support. Why isn't that green? You know what? Not a computer. Fuck if I know.
Primary computer systems active.
Ooh, prepare a time capsule. Wondering how this was going to be done. So, ion cell, ion cell, ion cell, thermal reactor, CMOS solar charger, and thermal reactor. Oh. Drinks, why not? Maybe some food. Yeah, maybe. Should get out of here before we starve to death. To solve your energy problems. I was given a time capsule full of ion power cells. I learned you don't really need 6. So here is 3 and some thermal generators. They are way better. Should I? Would it be tacky to just be like, cheers from Kelvin, you can watch me on Twitch? Tacky maybe, but maybe smart marketing. Maybe smart marketing. Maybe.
Emergency. Starvation imminent. Seek calorie intake immediately.
Why not? PR is PR. Advertise like a shameless whore. Whew. Also a streamer. Alright. Submit on rocket launch. Yep.
Time capsule ready.
There we are. Time capsule is ready, comrades.
All systems are go for liftoff.
Alright. Launch the rocket.
Ready to launch on your command, Captain. Launch in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Good to know even on this world, seagulls still are annoying.
2, 1.
Some things never change.
Time capsule jettison.
Damn. Hardcore techno. Did you hear the rumors for DLC in this game? Later.
Caution. Approaching orbital debris field. Orbital debris field clear.
Referencing the start of the game there, I see.
Confirm destination coordinates. Nearest interstellar phase gate. Engaging ion boosters in 3, 2, 1.
I thought you had a shield to prevent that sort of stuff. Exactly, right? I'm also not entirely certain why we'd be taking off into the Aurora's debris field.
What is a wave without the ocean? A beginning without an end. They are different, but they go together. Now you go among the stars, and I fall among the sand. We are different, but we go together.
You're also dead. You shouldn't be talking. I hate it when the dead things talk. They really shouldn't be talking. So no, I have not heard rumors of the DLC in this game. What are they? I'm dying, not dead yet. Fair point. OPC Emperor Ghostly. It was a strange ending, but at least the end credit music is good, yeah. Arctic Bio DLC. Oh, really? There's gonna be an Arctic biome. Ooh, neat. I mean, that would definitely be interesting. You know, us being able to spend limited amounts of time in the water due to temperature-related reasons, presumably. Needing to get, like, you know, battery-powered thermal heaters in your fucking wetsuit. All sorts of potential stuff. This was cool to watch play this, yeah. Not sure if it's DLC or just new content, though. Yeah, you know, I've actually seen the ending of the game before, like, I'd watch it. Like once I'd completed the story, and just had to launch the rocket, I no longer had any problems.
Welcome
like,
home to all Terra. Permission to land will be granted once you have settled your outstanding balance of 1 trillion credits.
I had no problem, like, just watching Subnautica live streams, right? It's in the ending cutscene with the huge landmass, yeah. Did you play any Metroidvania type games? This is vaguely reminds me of Aquaria. Metroidvania type games. Well, I was a fan, of course, of Symphony of the Night, but that's really about it. I mean, I was warned the first time I picked up a diamond that, like, you know, I would owe money to Altera for everything I'd salvaged or something. Apparently I salvaged 1 trillion credits worth of shit. Altera always wins. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just want to talk about this, because the person I actually watched finish the game was Dan's Gaming. Fairly sizable, well-known streamer on Twitch, obviously. And I was just so disappointed when he finished the game. Because it's just like, I really wish that they'd gotten, like, whatchamahoots. He talked about how he really wished that they'd gotten, like, procedural generation working for the game. And, like, it hurt. It hurt to hear that. It was like, no. Procedural generation would have totally ruined this game and made it an unmemorable, crappy thing. And I want to talk a little bit about that, because Subnautica is the perfect example for a kind of game that should not use procedural generation. Because the primary, like, draw in Subnautica was, like, the proper setup of world pieces and, like, a strange amount of, like, organized environmental exploration. Like, I have a feeling the joke we came about when we went into the underworld was we went down the river Styx and followed through the roots of Yggdrasil to the underworld. I have a feeling that was intended. That was the intended experience. That things like, procedural generation just can't deliver on. Only for the damage done to the Aurora. Yeah. Oh. But yeah, and it just it hurt me to hear that, and I love this game in part because it doesn't have procedural generation. They focused on making the map just perfect. I'll admit, it does hurt its replayability a little bit. Honestly, I feel like I could still do another run or two of this, though. That's the thing. This map is already 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers. And also apparently about, 1,700 meters deep. In some places. That's insane. That's great. That's massive. When you go deeper, you feel fear, then accomplishment when you get used to it. But when you go deeper, you find something even scarier. Yeah, no, the game is paced perfectly right because of how it's designed. I hope over time modders will add more areas to map over time. Yeah, actually, more than anything, like, as people talked about Subnautica for an Arctic biome, I'd actually like to just see DLCs that are just the same game, just different different zones. Like, the handcrafted maps will always do better, I think. So, like, just another Subnautica map that's in the Arctic or something, something like that would be totally cool. They ate 4 ways through the caves of memory. There are 4 ways through the caves of memory serves. 4 ways, eh? I only found 2, so. Yeah, no, who knows? I think it was just a really well built and well designed map. Place off the crater rim down a couple miles would be cool. Maybe. Abysso. Yeah. But, no, that was Subnautica. And, honestly, 10 out of 10. This game is set out to do something, and it did it perfectly. I wonder if you could have kicked out the PDA with the time capsule. Nothing left that could tell them how much you owe them. Yeah, should have kicked out the PDA. You're right. This game set out with an objective to deliver its experience, and who survived the machine? No one else survived. Pedro, we were the only survivor. But that said. This game set out to do something, and it executed it to a T. Like, very rarely do I, say a game is 10 out of 10. This game is 10 out of 10. Like, this game set out to, do something, and it did it super well. Is there modding support for this game? Not as far as I know. Not as far as I know. Unfortunately, though, we come to the end of our little 3-hour excursion here. Why would you owe them money? They should owe you a fuck ton of survivor pay. Because corporatism. Subnautica takes place in a corporatocracy, you have to understand. Corporations rule. Apparently I didn't even get an achievement for beating the game. Jeez. Just cure the infection. There's apparently still 4 hidden achievements. Probably one for finding the Degassi base in the thing. Then probably, 3 other alien bases I didn't find? Those are my guesses, I guess, yeah. Ludum Dare mentality. Take one of a few things and do it or them extremely well. And that is exactly what games should do, Olaf.
Like, that is exactly how games should be made, I think. A game should seek to do one or a few things really well, and focus on giving you good things out of that. Trying to do, a million things mediocrely just kind of makes it feel bland. That's kind of why I'm exhausted and dislike AAA games, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. It's like they're trying to appeal to everybody and make a little of something that everybody will like. That's not enough to hook me into something. It's not. I totally may. If you take a few things and do it well,